Alright, this is a 1995 Isuzu Trooper. I'm going to be taking off this overhead common chamber timing covers. I'm going to get inside the valve cover in here and replace the intake rocker shafts. As you can see, I've labeled everything so that way I won't get confused. Things like that. So we'll see how this all goes. And what I've done to keep track of everything is, of course, I've got the shop manual. Mine's a 95, but they're all basically the same. I've gotten one of these Tupperware things, so that way I can actually put all my parts in here. I can label nuts and bolts in the Ziploc bags with a Sharpie marker. I can just keep track of everything that's going in here and the steps. That's the reason why I'm making this video too, so I can just keep track of all the steps. Step 1, label everything. Label all the hoses, because you're going to be replacing a lot of these hoses. See how this one's cracked? It's not going to work for in the future. I need something better than that. One of this project is I'm going to go ahead and remove this air hose here. Go ahead, so step 1, this is part of the ventilation system for this air thing. I'm going to undo this screw, these 2 screws, pull it off of the throttle body, take this guy off, detach from this, and that's step 1. As you can see, I've taken my hose off of there. The air intake hose is out as well. You can see all the spark plug housing there, open throttle body, and there's step 1 in the bag. The thing I'm going to do is remove this thing. This is going to be my step number 2. I've already pulled all the wires out of it. I just want this out of my way. It's only held down by that bolt, this bolt right there, and of course that bolt there, and it should just come apart and slide on out, and then I can disconnect this ground wire here, and that'll be part of step number 3, and then we'll do throttle body next. I've removed this whole piece. This is basically your coil pack for this year. I also have to remove this big bracket so I can get it out of the way. So that's going to be my next step. I've just removed the ignition pack. I've had to take off this bolt, and I have to take off this bolt. But this guy's in the way first, so he has to come out. And this goes all the way to originally the air intake hose. So this whole solid piece has to come out. In order for it to do that, it's got to come off of this rubber piece. So we need to label this all with part 2 with this piece, and this will actually move. You can see it moving. Well, see it? So that's got to come out. Determine that the next step I'm going to have to do is disconnect this piece from the fuel pressure hose down here that connects to the throttle body, and hopefully this whole assembly will come out, part of step 2. Still trying to get this bracket off, but I just figured out that this is connected to part of the coolant, which I don't know if I want to disconnect this. I haven't drained the coolant yet. Should have. But this is connected, this pipe is connected all the way over to this guy, going to the throttle body assembly up there. I still have to take this apart. So it goes all the way up there. Still have to take this apart so I can get this whole bracket out. It won't slide off, as you can see. It's stuck. So bear with me. Okay, so I was able to pull this piece out from the whole bracket, but oh man, it started spraying coolant everywhere, as I kind of suspected. So I need to drain the coolant lines before I move any further. I put on their fuel pressure, but it's actually a coolant hose. So I'm gonna have to make a correction on this piece of tape. It appears to be part of the whole coolant assembly. This is all together. It's like welded together. So this is part of a coolant system. So I need to take that and correct fuel for coolant.